Good day, everyone. I am excited because when I woke up this morning, I was like, what are we going to talk about today? Crickets. Crickets. So, if you notice the title for today's post for today's show, it says, let's see what happens. So, then something came to mind as it always does. So let's start the show, and I will share with you one of the modes of passion. We're going to talk about the modes of passion in the context of dopamine. All right, let's start the show. So, welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit and Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. So, I hope everyone is doing well today. I certainly am. Had a good workout at the gym, my strength training class. I just love it so much, Shay. I love it, love it, love it, love it so much. So get out there, get a get that heart rate up, do something that puts a little pep in your step. How about that? So as I mentioned, I was thinking about this week's series because we wrapped up Live, Life, Love, right? We wrapped that up last week, and it was the perfect trilogy for this month for me because at Rockland CSL, our June theme is higher, deeper love, and it was like the perfect preparation for June for me. So, in that mode, I felt complete with that and was thinking about what next. And so I was listening to a podcast. Some of you may be familiar with Jay Shetty. And sometimes I listen to his podcast. And the other day I was listening and he was talking about, the first things to do in the morning, um, how to get over being lazy, things of that nature. And one of the things that he said in one of those podcasts really struck a chord with me when he was talking about dopamine. So we're probably all familiar with dopamine. I'm going to share this with you in case you are not familiar with dopamine. So I'm going to pull this up. So, dopamine is a chemical messenger, a neurotransmitter produced in the brain. It is primarily known as the body's feel good or reward chemical. Beyond pleasure, it plays a massive role in regulating motivation, memory, attention, mood, sleep, and physical movement. So dopamine is a feel good chemical in our brain, right? It's produced in our brain. And it doesn't just create the feeling of pleasure, it also connects with the reward of an activity to the memory of how you got it so that you're motivated to do it again. So it's not just doing it, it creates a footprint in your brain that this was something that you enjoyed and then you will do it again. So that's really interesting to me. I really tuned in when Jay Shetty started talking about this. And I think most of us can relate to a dopamine hit, right? But the question is, what is it that we are practicing that is giving us that dopamine hit, that feel good hit? So it could be things that support us, and it could be things that don't necessarily support us in the way that we need it to support us. So, for example, something that supports us, that gives me a dopamine hit, is exercise. I love to go to my strength training class. I love to power walk, and it gives me that feel good chemical, right? Releases in my body. That's what we would say a positive, right? The other side of the street, a dopamine hit could look like strolling, scrolling on our phones, just scrolling. I'm purposely saying stroll and scroll, right? Gives us a dopamine hit and is very seductive and keeps us going and going and going and going. And before we know it, many, many minutes have passed away. So this got me thinking. We're all familiar. This is no new news. But it got me thinking about dopamine in particular. And so I started Googling and something came up. And I was like, this is interesting. Let's share this today as well, because it's going to lead us to an invitation. So what came up was this term, modes of passion. There should be an S at the end. So I want to share a little bit about this. So, modes of passion. It's one of there's three modes of passion, and this is from the Gita. And one of the modes is goodness. No, three modes of nature, I'm sorry. One of them is goodness, the second is passion, and the third is ignorance. But the mode of passion includes dopamine. These things go hand in hand. So a mode of passion is felt as an insatiable desire for temporary things, for a fix, right? Striving for more and more of them and perpetual dissatisfaction. And you could think about that as if you binge on junk food, right? You're temporarily satisfied, right? But it doesn't last. And you may also feel negatively after you've done that. All of that relates to dopamine. So this is the invitation. And this is where we're going to go this week. We're going to talk about the mode of passion as it relates to dopamine and our practices, our daily practices, right? And the invitation on Friday will start. This is the invitation to do a 7-day dopamine detox. Now, you may be saying, Rev Melissa, what you talking about? Who wants to do that? Right? So it's two paths, right? Because many times when we do a detox, we are eliminating things, but we may also be including certain things. So this is a dopamine detox of elimination and of inclusion. So one of the things I'll share that we will be doing, if you decide to join me starting on Friday is detoxing from the hits that we get from from our devices. So I've already started this practice. However, sometimes I slip up without even recognizing that I'm already doing it because it's become so automatic. So, one of the things that I stopped doing is bringing this device in the bathroom. And I recently heard some ridiculously high percentage of people who take their cell phones with them in the bathroom. And while they are sitting on the toilet, they are checking their emails, they're on social media, they're doing all kinds of stuff. No. Let's focus on what we are actually doing. This is not something that we need to focus on when we're in the bathroom, guys and gals. So that's just to give you a little teaser for our dopamine detox. So we're going to eliminate getting on our phones. Let's just say we'll take a teeny tiny step, half an hour upon waking up. Don't pick up your phone. Now you may be saying, oh, but Red Melissa, I use my phone to exercise, right? I watch exercise. There's a YouTube video that I watch to exercise. Okay, but that's it. Because what happens is you pick up the phone, and this is me so many times. I pick up my phone to do one specific thing, and then all of a sudden I'm somewhere else and trying to remember, now, was it I pick up the phone in the first place? I use my phone because I use an electric toothbrush. I use my phone. I use the toothbrush app that's on my phone when I brush my teeth. For the last 2 weeks I said to myself, when you open that app, go straight to the Oral-B app, brush your teeth, and that's it. Don't do anything else with the phone. It was so challenging, y'all. And I would say since Saturday, I have been able to do it. But it's the little things, y'all. If you use your phone, I use my phone for my transcendental meditation. And I preach to myself only the meditation. That's it. So I still receive that feel good chemical of dopamine, but it's being generated by something that serves me well. And if I want to create a memory attached to that, what better way than attach a memory to transcendental meditation? Attach a memory to your spiritual practices or exercising versus attaching a memory to scrolling on your phone for an hour in the morning and then rushing through your spiritual practice or not doing it at all. All of those things, right? You'll know what I'm saying. Each of us has our own thing. Whatever yours is, let's just see, observe, give ourselves permission to just pay attention and witness, and then cultivate high vibration activities that support the the chemical biology, the neuro um, science of it all. How about that? All right, so let me check in with y'all. Let's see who's with me, or at least contemplating it. Good day, Bonnie. Fee said, yes for exercise. We have that in common. Yes, Fee. Thank you, Fee. Feeling the topic. I appreciate that. All right, Fee is in it with me, y'all. She said, oh my God, yes, I recently stopped bringing my phone to the tub with me. Yes, Fee. OMG, I now turn the lights off and actually enjoy my bath time. This is so good. That is such a good example, Fee. You're in the bathtub, baby, you got some bubbles, some scents going on, and then you in there on your phone, so you're not present. You're not present to this self-care deliciousness that you are gifting yourself. I love that for you, Fee King. Who's willing to detox from taking your phone into the restroom with you? Yes, one step, one day, one habit at a time. Yes, Fee. Yes, Sekou, a dopamine detox. Yes, we're going to eliminate some things and we're going to add some things to support this beautiful temple of ours. Fee says, I think we need to add removing an app or two during this detox. Yes, Fee. Yes. Who was it? There was somebody else that I was listening to, and they were sharing that they had decided to delete their apps. So they didn't delete their accounts, they just deleted their apps because it was so distracting to them. The notifications, and you could turn off the notifications. There's many things that we can do to detox from this unhealthy dopamine hits that we get. All right. So, Fee, I'm going to give you the last word. I like to add my dopamine hit is also dancing, karaoke, reading, being in nature, taking in negative ions from water, writing, traveling, performing, speaking, storytelling. Yes, Fee, I love that. I love that. A great list of positive dopamine hits that we can give ourselves. So those things that we really enjoy that nurture us, that's what I'm talking about, adding in. So think about what are some of the things you would like to eliminate and what are some of the things you would like to add. And just pick one or two, right? Because Rome wasn't built in a day, and it takes consistency to make those shifts, right? All right, y'all. I'm excited. So I know Fee is with me. I don't know if Sekou is with me or not. I saw a question mark. And if you're with me, let me know. If you're with me, let me know. A 7-day dopamine detox. All right, Bonnie is in. So let me know what you are eliminating and what you are including consistently. All right? All right, y'all. Let's get into some joy news. So let's see, what do I want to share today? Today is Tuesday, so Wednesday, tomorrow, we have our spiritual living book study. That's not it. Here we go. We have our spiritual living book study tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The book is Manifesting, the Practical, Simple Guide to Creating the Life You Want by Chris Ferraro. And you could jump on and join us in the conversation. We are up to page 112. So I know most of us can't read 112 pages in a day. That's fine. But if you want to join us, join us. Okay? So all the information is there at rocklandcsl.org, or you can scan that QR code for additional information. So I just wanted to highlight that for this week. And we're going to continue with our dopamine, our mode of passion. That's what this series is called, Mode of Passion. And the mode of passion that we are exploring this week is passion. Let me say that again. We're exploring the three modes of nature. That's what we're exploring. And one of the modes is passion. So tomorrow I'll let you know what the other two are, but we're really going to focus on this one in particular, the mode of passion. And within that, we are highlighting dopamine, that feel good chemical that we activate in our brain. And it's so important the way in which dopamine gets activated. So, 7-day dopamine detox. Think about what you want to eliminate and what you want to include. Something small, baby steps. All right, y'all. So, I will see you all tomorrow. I am excited about this, and I'm excited for you who are joining me on this journey starting on Friday. Now, you can ease into it starting now if you like, but we're going to officially start on Friday. So, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.